And we're back, everybody. Welcome back to ESL Pro League live from the Intel Esports Arena. We're going to be carrying on with today's matchups. The opening game was HellRaisers versus Fnatic, and they absolutely demolished it. HellRaisers locked it down very easily on Mirage. We'll now be moving into our second map, Ben.
Yeah, second map, Cash, which is another repeat of the major matchup we had. But that one was a bit more one-sided. HellRaisers took that 16-2. However, if we look at what we just seen in Mirage, the previous results do not matter, apparently. No. So it's a bit of a scary one for Fnatic, because some of the players we played, so JW, Crims, they'll be thinking back, last time we played this map against them, they absolutely destroyed us. That was in a best of 3 third map as well.
Yeah.
So it was a very big situation, and they, faced, to be relegated or defeated at the major, they were gone from it. So that was a huge game. Now they're looking at a potential defeat here where they'll actually get leapfrogged by HellRaisers too. So in terms of standings, it's looking quite bad for Fnatic.
Yeah, this could really be rough. And for HellRaisers, if they walk away with a full 6 points from this, that's absolutely huge, because you're coming into the last sort of few days of Pro League, really. We're really into sort of the last stretch of it. I mean, there's what, including today, 5 days total of matchups left to go. You need to win every game you can. If you steal a full 6 points against a team, that's rough.
Yeah, very bad, especially when you consider they were ranked 10th and 11th at the start of the day. Right? So I mentioned the leapfrogging. HellRaisers, they were a team actually battling for that 7th, 8th spot as well last season. And it looks like they're going to do the same again. They've got about half the games to play this season already still as well. So they've got a very good chance of actually catching up to the others there.
Yeah, but that is really if they can start getting some wins behind them. That's not what we saw in the opening matchup. Woxic overall seems to have a fair bit of control of the game, especially on the CT side. They're definitely controlling rounds with the AWP, being able to get so much impact going. The only one that was really performing for Fnatic, it seemed, was JW at times, having a big impact, but in rounds that didn't really amount to much. It was only one clutch with the P250 that gave them an extra round to play with.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, because I mentioned the performances from like Twist and Brolan, both players top of the scoreboard, but ultimately Twist had a 1-1 with 3K, which was like that clutch as well on the B site. But Brolan hit a lot of kills which didn't mean anything, right? It was kills where they'd already lost the round, he gets 2 kills on that pistol round, for example. And it ultimately does not mean anything, right? You get those kills, you're just stat padding at that point, but it's not stat padding in the same way that you'd be like, they're doing it just for their own benefit. It's just a coincidence, right? It's all on good to talk about it. But there's not much they can do if their team are faltering around them, right? Crims didn't have a fantastic game until that actual round with the FAMAS, which I'd say a lot of it was down to luck. If he doesn't get the kills through the wall, he probably doesn't get the kill on the last player going in. I believe it was Bondic, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird one. They need all the players to step up right now, because HellRaisers, everybody's stepping up for them.
And that's the flip side, right? Is that if HellRaisers are all performing well and firing from all cylinders, and only a couple of you performing, you really leave yourself in a horrible position. Let's have a look at the new odds as well. As they do now favour HellRaisers.
Yeah, that reflects a bit more. I think it might have just been based off of the previous result, right? Because Fnatic did win it on overtime last time they played Mirage. However, with that result that's just happened now, and the previous result on Cash that they've had, collectively you're thinking 16-2 previous map result, and last map we just saw 16-5. So HellRaisers should be, you'd probably say, a heavier favourite than that. Yeah. But it's still been quite conservative though. Yeah,
just trying to sort of play both fields there, really keep it more reserved, nothing too outrageous, but at least it does favour HellRaisers considering how well they looked on the first map. I mean, if they can carry that over and still have that level of confidence, then in reality I feel like this should be a pretty smooth 2-0 for them. Yeah, we mentioned these maps not really being what you'd consider from HellRaisers typically as well. Yeah. They're quite heavy aim maps. And I mentioned Fnatic, not everybody's looking good. HellRaisers, on the other hand, we're even having Dead Fox pop off at times. A player who traditionally people do like giving him abuse regarding how well he's playing. Right? They consider, you're not playing very well, why are you even in the team? He has to come out with that posting, he plays the despicable positions, right? And ultimately, he's kind of showing he can still do well from those positions. Like, he's had a few games the past few weeks that have actually been really good. So it's quite nice to see it, because he's trying to prove his worth, isn't it? Same thing that happened with Smiths quite a while ago with his Yoles noobs thing, right? Which, it is quite unfair when players do get abused like that, because they are being put into positions sometimes where nobody else wants to be there, so they're like, I'll do it. I'm a team player, I'll do it. Yeah. People don't seem to see the value in a player who does that. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we had it time ago as well, back when Maniac used to get abuse just for being a support player, because people just physically didn't understand what his role was in the team. There is a lot that people miss when it comes down to sort of Counter-Strike in that sense of why people don't have huge games all the time. Why Simple's popping off for 30 frags and then being supported by other people. It's, there's lots of things that make players be able to get set up in that position. Yeah, the other part of it is people like Caldera will say he's a support player. Yeah. And then he'll pop off and they'll be like, why don't all the other support players do that? Yeah. Just like, he's a bit different. it's his own role.
He's literally unreal at the game as well.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Dead Fox, the man with grenades on the T side now, exists. Not going for the HE grenade this time. Gets the smoke with his hit. So Crim's actually holding an off angle then. Not actually behind the truck, he was a bit out. Which, I suppose, makes sure you can see the jump out to forklift that does come through. But the A site has been given up, and it's going to be a 5-man rotate all through truck. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, this is really going to be a straight-up pain battle. Luckily, though, the spam that's coming through favours the CTs up to this point. Angel and Woxic have been decimated, but Issa trying to get a sideline assault, only finds one. Bondic's still alive,
so low.
Somehow just toying with them. Both of those players were so low as well.
A team ace coming through. And honestly, that's... How many times would we see that situation not go in favour of the CTs, though?
Yeah.
5 CTs running through the same narrow choke point. Normally, as soon as you lose the first man, that push goes to hell, right? Everything goes wrong. But lucky for them, they got, I think it was 2-3 entry kills before even having a man taken down themselves. So, bold call by Fnatic for sure, but it works out, so it's hard to argue against it in this situation.
Definitely better than it could have gone. Ooh, heavy investment in towards Famases there.
HellRaisers.
3 Famases.
2 AKs on the Galil. Here we go. So Dead Fox takes the hit, drops an AK for one of the players. Bondic has enough money himself as he did get 3 kills. Makes the Angel, I believe he was the man that's gifted the AK. Wox was able to get a Galil himself due to getting the plant. So this is a very big round for HellRaisers here. They have willingly invested into it. But Fnatic, they haven't quite seen the opponent shoot yet. And they've got full rifles. So that feels like they're expecting some kind of buy like this. Because normally you'd have somebody go MP9, or even sometimes we've seen Guardian do it, a USB and armor alone. But that might be the difference in the sort of playstyle as well, though. Like Fnatic, they don't have that dedicated AWP, do they? Like Guardian, he will use an AWP whenever possible. They've waited out a lot. We've seen this from HellRaisers quite a bit on Cash. Remember against Big example. They play quite slowly. And they hope to get picks in on the way through there. Looks like this is going to be challenged very soon though by these AK players. If the flash comes through, it could be very bad for him.
Ooh, early trade there. This goes down. JW as well, traded out by Woxic with a Galil of all weapons. So we're falling to just a 3 versus 3. Rifles on every member that is alive currently, but Crim's not able to get the shots off quickly enough with the Famas, so he does go down, face plants the ground. But it is now Brolin and Twist that are left to try and retake this. They don't have a kit. They've got 2 flashbangs to give themselves a bit of leeway. But they're just being punished, Ben. Picked to pieces. Bondic gets 1 kill. Brolin looks to try and re-aggress and trade it back, but unlikely he's really going to get anything going. And that's the instant reset round from HellRaisers.
Perfect use of the rifles there. Both players who got given AKs, they get 2 kills each. Woxic with a Galil, he gets a kill as well. So really nicely done from HellRaisers. They play it slow enough to make sure all grenades from Fnatic are gone. After that, they're able to capitalise on it, get the trade on Exist, and from there they just took the A side by storm. And Fnatic, this was the issue people did mention when it comes to this new economic setup. If you're a CT side, you win the pistol and get eco'd, you only get 1400, which means you have to buy in, which is what we're seeing now from Fnatic. Deagles and a P250, no grenades. Not even a kit either. So they need to land these first kills to stand a chance.
Oh. Well, it is pretty much a deco, and it works well so far. JW opens it up with the instantaneous heady pop there against Woxic. And this makes the lives of the HellRaisers players a little bit harder. Luckily enough, the gun is quite far back, so they won't be able to recover it.
Yeah, ideally you would dispose of that weapon just in case.
Yeah. Throw
it over the wall, onto the truck, something like that. However, it looks like they are willing to leave it there. HellRaisers going for the classic Wolf pack against the eco, or at least the force buy. Very good decision to actually make. However, they do still need to land these shots when they get onto the site.
Okay, so Angel goes in first, leads by example. Good use of the flashbang there to blind the initial player. Crim's going to trade it back. They are landing these shots with the Deagles, Ben, but they're running out of numbers now. Falls back into the 3-on-3. They're not in a great position when it comes down to the firearms that are now in play. But Twist, he gets onto the site, eventually gets detected though. Dead Fox is going to be able to slay him. Brolin backstabs with the M4 and causes a bit of a mockery now. Is able to get the double kill in his favor. Bondik left in a 1v1.
Really
Always going to drop the Molotov on the bomb. It will force him off. He's pretty much won the round off the back of that. Keeps himself hidden. JW forced to just charge in. This round's so messy at this point.
He has to stick it. He has to stick it. There's no kit. Bondik knows that. He will get taken down though. I think JW can live here as well. But I mentioned that M4. Brolan, he picks it up on the way through A-Main. He gets 2 kills and makes that round winnable.
That's the difference.
If they simply just get rid of it. Yeah, it's such an easy thing. It's not like it takes a lot of time or skill even. You can just throw it over a wall onto the truck even. He wouldn't look for it. As soon as you not see it at the body, you just assume, it's gone. I can't get that back.
That's the thing, even if you put it in boost.
Yeah, that's another one, easy.
You would need 2 players to recover it, so...
Yeah, so it changes how that round could have gone completely though. Because Brolan, he won 2 firefights there at distance, which he would not have probably won with a Deagle.
No, it would have been much slower, would have had to line up both of the shots. So Fnatic now instead actually just going to be going for the all-inclusive stack. Everyone over by B. Brolan is dead first, as Bondik will be able to get first contact. Now comes the push. As soon as they've theorized, this should be everyone rotating quickly over towards that A side.
Bondik did do damage to the actual gun then, as well though. So that actually makes it pretty decent for the Twist. Surprisingly doing well with that firefight, and Issa does not care about the weapons coming through CT. Disposes them very easily, 3 kills. And just Twist, the man I was mentioning, he was having that fight with Dead Fox, which Dead Fox was losing quite awkwardly against, a player with no armor. Very rough one, but they're not going to let him get out of here alive. Ultimately quite a comfortable round if you think about Bondik. He gets all the information towards B. That's basically the same thing you do with a player with a map 10, for example. You just lose more equipment value, which, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Fnatic, you finally get a buy-in. Got single kit. Not many grenades, but should be enough to hold off the first minute or so. If it goes beyond that, it could be troublesome.
Some early spams coming out from the other side. Seeing if they can get any initial contact. HellRaisers just splitting up right now, holding the default for the meantime.
Yeah, going back to that slow start play, they recognise this will be a buy from Fnatic. So try and slow it down, see what they've got, try and waste their grenades if possible. But Woxley, if he peeks this side of mid, there's a player close and there's a player in the vent as well. And he does risk getting caught off by Highway, so he doesn't actually bother. It's not worth the risk for him to actually go for that peek fully. Instead, it looks like boost will be the call. If they get a player to molly out the vents, this could be quite a good push for them. Because it'll be that one player exists who's actually on the floor and cannot really get out of there. He'll be stuck, he has to fight it. However, it doesn't look like a Molotov towards vent will be coming through, so it's going to be a dry peek.
It's risky.
Or Woxic.
So Woxic's got exists as well. Actually able to follow that up, gets the kill onto Angel. Now it's just a 4 versus 3, Ben. This push is coming out over towards the A site. Issa might get 1 decapitation, but is there any more left in him? Dead Fox opens it up towards the site, eliminates Crims. It's a 3-on-3, good use of the Molotov as well to actually divide the 2 Fnatic players. Line of sight blocked here, so Brolin can't really get contact. The flank from the rear doesn't last long. And Issa, so low, yet full of confidence. The wallbang headshot onto exist, and HellRaisers just seems like they're on top of the world right now when it comes down to just winning these individual firefights.
Yeah, that was a 3v5 as well.
Yeah.
Like, JW gets killed from Highway from door, fine, that can happen. However, Crim's on site needs to do better. Right, he was quite slow on the trigger when Dead Fox ran around the corner. He barely got 2 shots off. But even then, it was behind Dead Fox, so he was trailing him. Instead of being ready for this very quick peek, he was quite surprised by it, by looks things. Exist, the man playing close middle. He's already been seen though. There's 2 of them actually playing the same angle too. It's a really awkward fight to take as a T, especially when that happens. JW with a Deagle takes 2 of them down again. So another advantage for Fnatic, but can they actually do anything this time?
Ooh, Dead Fox trying to get a bit aggressive here towards mid. Taps off a couple of warning shots. They have got a little bit of map control to play with. They're outnumbered by an extra player there on the side of Fnatic. But their arsenal is much stronger, and Bondic's been able to trade it back as well. It takes a small sliver of damage for his troubles. It seems like they might actually be trying to make this move over towards the B site. Brolin's in position. CZ and armor. If he can at least find one kill, he might be able to delay this long enough for his teammates to help him out. But Dead Fox needs to be poised here and find that first kill. Oh, somehow he stays alive and actually gets the follow-up frag. Shuts down Angel. He's bought so much time and still done even more damage. This round is awkward, Ben.
Oh, Twist! No. He didn't reload that whole time. That's a very bizarre one. To actually have no... Like, why would you be running around with 3-4 bullets in your CZ?
Surely you check that before you go for the play.
Crims, he makes that solo play through the actual smoke. Twist should be able to actually grab a gun if he goes further up towards B main, but doesn't actually make the play. Instead, he has to just go for it. And how different is that round if he simply would have A, either reloaded his CZ, or B, just gone for the head on Dead Fox.
And actually just killed him.
Yeah, because he was quite low. Dead Fox had about 65 health, I believe.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy at all.
It's a one-shot headshot at that range. Fnatic, they resort to double AWP, which is the classic. You lose about 5-6 rounds, you've only got one yourself, you tend to try and resort to that double AWP. JW and Twist, both decent AWPers as well, so it's not a bad move by any means, but HellRaisers, it's looking like it's going to be a BXQ in towards the solo player on B currently, Brolan. Although Twist has arrived now.
Brolan. He's just going to have to cower away. Twist is really running the risk here if they go for this aggressive burst into the site, but luckily nothing has been
the VP
set in stone.
But they're not going in. So it's quite interesting. I like seeing teams run it a fake instantly though. So Dead Fox here has to kind of hope to get a kill onto whether it's Brolan or towards Twist, but he's having to face CT. And for some reason, they're still pushing it without Dead Fox getting to do anything.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you've got to, you know...
He needs to do something at the other side before you try and fake it, right?
It's a bit bizarre. Crims up on top of Shroud spot. They weren't ready for it. It's an awkward angle to try and attack. So they do finally get around the board. Not too much impact down to the AWPs, though. You know, it feels like that round just went their way because of how the actual round went overall.
Yeah, it's very weird though. To actually do that strat as a fake, but not send someone in.
Yeah.
Instead, you've done the smokes and then kind of held a bit. Dead Fox has walked in. He's missed the shots towards Twist at CT. But then you're dying before on the other side of the map without him getting anything done, really. Look how aggressive. How does he lose that firefight?
I don't know. I mean, Angel goes down to 11 HP, but still just keeps on tapping.
Very awkward one to lose, though. That's the only pistol on the side of HellRaisers as well. So that was arguably the easiest fight he could have. Exist not able to get anything, but look at Twist's position on the map. He's actually got sunroom control with an AWP as well, so Angel, the man who's actually in useless there. But they're playing such a weird position on A as well. I don't get these setups at times.
Okay, so Twist's been hurt there by Angel as he thunderfoots back round. Oh. Dead Fox able to come up there from short. It's an easy little tap on the AK. And leaves Crims sleeping. And it's just Brolan and Twist that remain. Ben, this is just not looking good at all. Ooh, Twist, luckily, from the position he's in, does gain bomb control. Punishes Bondic, gets the gut shot off with the AWP, but Angel can backstab very efficiently here. Just a matter of time to have this plays go. Twist as well. Timing's awkward. They now double face him. He can try and go for the no scope, which he will land, but Issa trades it back, and it's now on Angel to really close this round down. It depends on the timing. First dink, follow-up tap. He's done for.
Angel's played that round like a sneaky assassin the whole way. Since that first fight at mid, he sat on useless, heard Twist go to T-spawn. I don't know why the bomber didn't expect him there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he didn't hear him. I can only imagine.
He should have, really, shouldn't
it seemed like he should
We heard him here as well, even without knowing that.
From his POV as well.
Yeah. So he knows he's there, and then even at the end of it, he knew that Brolan was in CT and then went out towards mid. So he was there just walking around right behind him, completely playing the slow, big play. Methodical play as well. And he gets it done though, Tech 9. Paying dividends there, 2 kills.
Good to see a return of the Tech 9, really. Starting to actually get some more use again since the changes that came into effect a little while ago now.
Yeah, about 2-3 weeks now, isn't it? But fortunately, Zest took a while to line it up.
I don't know what this was even doing there.
He was lining up a flashbang on that actual corner of the wall, but he's taken a while to line up because you don't need to line up the wall that much.
No.
It's more about where you actually aim your crosshair.
I mean, you're so exposed at that point. You're just doing nothing.
But Twist, the other player on the A side, does get that kill onto Woxic. And Brolan, see, that's the kind of tapping that should have been done earlier on by Twist. Really.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to use the gun, really. You know, you can't spray with it. It doesn't work, especially
you're in their face. Yeah, so that's the only 400 units, I think, 500 units, I believe.
Oh, I was nicely expected by Brolan, actually.
The thing is, he has to just kind of survive here. He's got no armor, but you can see Angel with his slow little lurk into T-spawn. I was gonna say, if a firefight comes in, an extended one, Brolan will lose due to that aim punch.
Yeah,
he doesn't get a chance to shoot back there.
And that's sort of the rough thing again, as well. I mean, Brolan into these rounds, you know, last alive in a situation like that, you physically cannot win the round.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is try and get kills, but even then, it's not going to hurt the T side that much. So, again, just sort of dead frags there towards the end. 7-2 scoreline, though. Finally, a pause going to be coming out, but it is a technical pause, not a Fnatic pause.
Yeah, so this can work in Fnatic's favour, though, I suppose, right? Yeah, because technical pauses, as bad as they may be or annoying as they may be to the flow of a game, some teams will be relieved when they get a tech pause of some kind, whether it's the other team or their own, because they can use it as a momentum breaker. So 7-2, prime time for a pause of any kind, right? But Fnatic, the thing is, what do? They've already tried the double up. That didn't really work out because it wasn't the double ups that won it for them.
That's the thing, there was no real impact. I mean, Twist didn't get a kill with it. I think JW got one frag with the Orbits that round, so...
And then the round before that, they've been playing the AWPs towards both of the sites, right? And the round they did that, where they lost, Exist was towards mid and got killed by a Tech 9.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not really... You know, it feels like you can't trust him to be at mid on his own, right? It feels like you need 3 rifles there, in which case you can't double AWP. You need to go for the one AWP. But either A, leave them towards B, or, you know, B, leave them towards A, right? Leave them towards one of the sites. Trust that they can do something, or at least play retake.
I mean, that's the thing as well. Fundamentally, Cache is a map that is a bit of a double-edged sword when it comes to warping. I mean, that's what we saw, if you cast our minds way back, sort of initially when VP kind of coined the idea of just going for a 5-rifle setup. Yeah. And we saw a lot of teams sort of following their footsteps now to what is, you know, expected on the map, because you might as well. You know, there is no reason to have that AWP necessarily. There's
not many angles to do it, like, be proficient with them on this map. It's more, you'll hold an angle, but you could do a lot more with a rifle, is the main thing, right? Because 3 mid, for example, is the thing on CT that everybody will think, okay, so if you asked what's the prominent area on this map, you'd just say mid control. If you get mid control, you can split the sites very easily. Yes. The rotate time, when you have to go through CT the whole way around, it's about 15-20 seconds. So if you control mid, you can cut off the rotates, you can split the map entirely, CT defense becomes very thin. And that was part of the reason why they went with, like, you know, 5 rifles. You could play 3 rifles on CT, 1 vent, 1 highway, 1 actually mid, and have everybody contrast onto it. We saw it early on when Exist was playing close mid, there was play vent, play highway. Yeah. However, if HellRaisers are not going towards mid, which is what they haven't really been doing it much, they only did it on the anti-ecos really in that 1 round. And from that, you start to wonder, can we even play 3 mid? Is it worth it? Because they've actually resorted to that double AWP and it didn't really work. So it's a bit of an awkward one really, because Fnatic, I feel like they have to go 2 mid, but not fully 3, because I think you need to have 2 players towards B. But you keep the player highway and the player on A.
Well, it's the risk you run as well, because I mean, Angel just, you know, quite confident just calling for a stack or a burst play. So you do just have potentially 5 people sprinting towards you on one site. And it feels like at times, no matter where you put players, it is the wrong course. The issue was that Woxic was struggling with his internet. It feels like that has now been resolved. And hopefully we can get back underway with a matchup.
Double up is in play there. So Brolan towards B. They're going to be leaving Exist towards mid, and Brolan, he gets caught off. I said you probably do need 2 players towards B, and unfortunately this time, he's on his own.
That's really rough as well. I mean, trying to reposition and just with the timing of the push, there's not really much he can do, but it's just unfortunate that he physically couldn't even get a single frag or try and just hold an angle where, you know, he could have stopped the push for at least a small amount of time. And you can see, because of how dominant that site takes bin as well, you got to save it. You're not going to win that. They don't feel like it's going to work, especially with a double AWP retake on the B site. Yeah,
double AWP retake, you got 1 kit. And when you think about it this way, there was 0 damage done. Right? It's not even like, I've tagged lots of them, or I've got 50 damage to 1. Instead, they've already lost 1 of the AWPs there. Angel, I doubt he's going to not check this top right angle, especially with an AWP hold in there.
You should clear it.
Although, with him being a bit slower though, he's hoping for some backup from Dead Fox, which will come through now.
So you can see the AWP's trying to actually peek him as well.
There's a lot of faith there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Angel trusted in Dead Fox to actually hold that side. Big C JW, he's already bailed on the idea. He's all at the end, and they might catch him. Ooh. So they'd lose one of the AWPs. I was saying that the double AWP, if you're going to use it, I think you still need to go one to each side, but maybe play two towards mid. But instead, Angel straight out of that tech pause. Even though it was their own tech pause, he just goes, just go fast B rush, I'll fake towards mid or A control. And it works out beautifully. More so when you think they get all the kills other than the one as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the rough thing, because you're now left in this situation, right? I mean, at least it's one weapon they've kept, but even then, it's just only an AWP on JW. You have to basically play the entire round around him and hope that he can do something huge. Most likely, this will just be them walking all over them. Crims gets a tasty little deagle shot off. Exist tries to keep his legacy going as well with the P250, but isn't as much of a marksman as his fallen brethren. And they've now claimed the A site then. They've taken it as their own domain. And this flank is going to be thwarted as well. No, it isn't. Bondic.
Felt like it was a classic watching the radar situation, wasn't it? It really didn't feel like he was watching his crosshair at all.
So there was no real reaction, so maybe he was just staring at the radar.
Yeah, so there's a boost actually at highway here with the AWP, but JW and Exist both taking the same amount of damage from the Molotov there. I feel like that might have thwarted the theory where you take more damage from a Molotov if you have no armor. Both players took 19 damage from the same amount of techs.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing something about that, but maybe Molotovs do not change the amount of damage you take. Because remember, HE grenades, for some reason, if you get head armor, it does less damage with HE grenades, which does not make any sense whatsoever.
The overall physics
hitting your head, apparently, you've managed to save 4 damage with that one.
The overall physics of how nades work is very interesting. It's like, you know, the fact that technically if you were to... I think the way you want to do it is make yourself smaller as possible. So if you, like, crouch and also, you know, look down, you take slightly less damage. There's stuff like that.
CS has always had these weird intricacies with it though. And look at that face from, you know, HellRaisers. They went 3 people just facing dry at mid, hoping to catch Exist, who's been primarily playing mid, and he's had issues holding mid, if I'm honest. Unfortunately though, Twist was there to bail them out. So they've trusted JW to actually anchor towards B, and finally the double AWPs are doing something. They've got 3 kills into this round. It's winnable.
Yeah, this is actually one they should take, and it will go to a 9-3 scoreline, because it would be very unlikely they lose it from this position. Exist finally gets killed towards mid. It's going to be Angel that steps up to the plate.
Twist is right below him. Very odd position. You don't expect an AWP to be below boost.
No, just sat there staring up. Oh.
Although, I was going to say, if Dead Fox could grab the AWP, I'm not sure how quick. Okay, so they do get it quite comfortably there. Because if Dead Fox had grabbed that AWP, he might have just taken it slightly out of range for them to actually get it.
Yeah, so he could just thrown it away.
Yeah, but HellRaisers, they still have money on the board though. Fnatic, 3 rounds. Again, it's still not looking fantastic from them, is it? It's very reminiscent of the last map. Although that time, they were on T side.
And it's the fact as well where you can invest into these double up setups and you can try and make it work as much as possible. But it really does only come down to...
I'd like them.
It comes down to those rounds like that when both of the AWPers get a golden opportunity to actually find kills with a weapon. How many times is that going to happen?
It's more... So the first kill Twist got, he catches them off guard because they're fighting Exist, he gets one of them. JW gets one towards B as well, and at the same time Twist kills guy and boost. So it was all like a quick flurry of kills. HellRaisers trying to be a bit more proactive, trying to catch them off guard. Obviously it goes against them there, but Exist just been flashed into A main, he should get that kill, Angel down. So it's a 4v4 still, but think about the damage done as well. Like Brolan towards B on his own, for example, half HP, and Issa's been deadly inside this door.
Yeah. That's the thing that I was going to sort of touch on there as well, is the fact that even though they've rotated off, I mean, you've left Issa there, he can just delay this for so long. And he's actually opened it up enough that they're coming back as well. So not only have Fnatic rotated over towards the B site, as long as Dead Fox keeps them busy...
Which he will. As soon as that mess has come through, that's the B site fake sold, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Although you see JW, he's not biting at all. Now he will.
Now,
yeah. Although Brolan, because he's playing so close, he's like, there's nobody running in.
No one's actually pushed.
Dead Fox isn't sold the fit. He hasn't actually ran in and tried to go for it that much. This off-angle by Crims has done really well with it as well. So Bondic, he needs to just kind of stay alive, or at least allow Dead Fox to arrive.
Ooh. Spicker was a bit spooked there as his teammate came over. So they've got 7 seconds. He physically has to plant this. JW could win the round right here.
Oh, cover. He went off the bomb! No!
Dead
Why would you go off it? And he's died after as well.
Oh, that's despicable, Ben.
Why has he done that? No, in the words of Henry G, that is a blunder.
That is a blunder.
What? There was no reason to do it.
Sure, yeah, you've got to have the confidence to just stick.
If he doesn't kill the guy, you lose the round anyway. Yeah. Right? It's like when you're in a clutch, you've got 4 seconds left, you know you have to stick the bomb.
Yeah, I plant or we lose. So you just commit to the plant and you trust in your teammate.
That's very bizarre. That's the kind of thing that happens though, where it starts playing on your mind if the game starts getting closer.
That's the tilter of a round. That comes back, and you're like, dude, this game should be over.
The thing is, it doesn't come back just for you either.
No.
Your teammates they have all seen that error. Bondic will be annoyed because he clearly doesn't feel like he was trusted.
Yeah.
As well. It's such a weird round because they made everything right. Deadfox even got the kill on site. It was a 2v1. That's so ridiculous. And from that, they're stuck to the weapons they've got now, which are not fantastic, but they're trusting in this B core. Brolan, this could be, I was going to say catastrophic based on where he positions himself. But with Twist here, this is going to be really done well for them. If Twist gets the first kill, Brolan should be able to peek and clean up, I feel. Here it comes, though. I think they might be trying to do a run boost, perhaps. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Doesn't really work out. Brolan with the assault from the rear. No one knew he was there. Easy 3k picked up, so they make quick work of them out of that round. And Fnatic actually having the knock-on effect as well now, being able to bridge a couple of these rounds together. Now, from how it looked, it seemed like it was going to be even more favoured to HellRaisers at the end of this first half. At this point now, it could be a 9-6 scoreline, where it actually wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, not the worst thing, considering Cash is traditionally a T-sladed map as well. But it has to all come down to that Deadfox round, doesn't it, really? Like, that was 9-3. You give them 9-4. Like, literally give them
Gift it to them, yeah.
Like, they didn't really do anything to affect that play, other than JW trying to run in to win the round. And as I said, looking at a 9-6 potentially, HellRaisers take a tactical pause because they want to talk about what kind of buy they've got. Which is a very good pause, I feel, because it is, you might as well use it. You've not had to use one so far this half. It allows them to fully talk about this purchase that they have in mind. Just the 1 AK though.
Mac 10 on Bondic, 2 CZs there for Woxic and Deadfox, and Issa with the Tech 9 of all weapons.
So that's quite interesting that they throw the Molotov there, because sometimes that will actually block the smoke coming in towards the entrance. Twist, this is incredibly bold. Brolan puts it out, so they've actually used both a Molotov and a smoke from the B players.
They've used pretty much all their
one way now
already.
Ooh, so many flashes.
Oh, they get by! They've actually been able to slide in towards the site. Twist kills one though, and the second. Brolan's still there, but by the time he peeks out, Woxic dinks him down with the CZ. Twist on the site, still a little bit paranoid about the push coming in. They're going to force him out with the Molotov. He's left on 50 HP, but he gets the no-scope off. Nearly the adjustment, but he is dunked on by Woxic, who is now left on 1 HP. What a bizarre bloodbath of a round, Ben.
Twist has done phenomenally well that round. So that was the VP B take that came in, right? So that was the traditional, you smoke checkers, you go through the main smoke. However, from the perspective we saw, Brolan, he was in checkers, right? And it seemed like hell from his point of view because he was getting flashed over and over again. But Twist does so well. He gets 2 kills on the way in, he stays alive long enough, and even when he jumps out of the site, he gets another one. Only to be taken down by, I believe it was like a martyrdom, essentially, from Moxie.
Pretty much literally dropped
a grenade right there. So 9-6 though, Fnatic, they've got themselves a lifeline, I feel. Last 3 rounds winning them. You get some momentum in, some confidence perhaps as well, because you see, even HellRaisers are not composure in them, they're losing rounds they shouldn't.
Exactly. I mean, 9-6 is a huge half for Fnatic, because it does mean confidence can come back. You've also then got the, you think about that round as well, not only for how frustrating it can be for HellRaisers, but for Fnatic. You've won that round where you're like, you didn't plant. Like, he didn't plan. Let's go, boys. You're going to be pumped. Yeah. Got the knock-on effect. You're constantly now winning rounds. When it gets down to that, opening pistol, this is where if they win this, they're going to be in full swing to bring this game back.
Yeah, it's definitely looking good for them. And last map, HellRaisers won both pistols. So far this map, Fnatic have won the first one. So potentially if we see Fnatic win this one as well, we have a nice pattern there at least, building where both teams, when they win the pistol, well, the first team who wins the pistol will take the second one. However, Cash, if you remember the pistol last map for Fnatic on the T side, it did go pretty poorly.
But it was weird, though. They invested really bizarrely.
It was odd.
Let's see if they do it again.
This is a bit more normal.
Okay. Yeah,
P250 to Twist. So Twist must love the P250. Like, they trust him enough to give him one most pistol rounds by looks things. So smoke on the entrance. JW exists towards B. I imagine they're trying to get a boost towards the vent, maybe, to actually get a split going in. But I don't think that'll be possible. Deadfox, he won't know about JW walking into that smoke until it starts to fade, because he'll show up on the radar. Starts to fade in about 3 seconds now. But Deadfox, he needs to keep looking towards that, but he sees him. But he's a bit panicky there. Oh. JW gets 2 kills for free.
Okay, JW can actually get another kill here as well. They've pretty much lost the round at this point. It's unlikely he's going to go on to clutch this, because over towards the A site there was a bloodbath there that favoured the CTs. So it's a 1-on-3. He's picked up a USP to try and go full assassin, but I don't imagine Agent 76 is going to get too much into this round, Ben. Gets detected as well. Left on just 69 HP now. Still hoping and leaping and bounding towards that A site.
Let's flash it.
Flash goes in, he's blind, just peels back. It's really just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah. It's a triple face any second now. They'll give it about 5 seconds just in case he's walking up the close wall.
Go for the 3-2-1 face.
Technically, the player at Lockers should be the one trying to give this call, like he needs someone's face. That'll be coming in very soon, I think.
Or as soon as they get contact here, they'll both crash as well. There's the peak.
It was just a matter of time, really. We could see both A main players. Yeah. They were right on the edge of peaking. They would say, okay, as soon as we can, just swing out. And obviously JW, he's left in a position which he probably shouldn't have been to begin with, I guess. Because towards B, Deadfox, instead of being quite composed, thinking, I was behind this box the whole time, why should he think I'm here still? Instead he goes for that really overzealous, just spams his USP for some reason. And JW gets 2 kills for nothing. But that does mean the pattern is broken though. HellRaisers take that pistol. And Fnatic do not buy into it due to not having much money available to them.
No. Which is actually quite rough as well, because HellRaisers, they can now build from this and start to get that confidence back. Obviously, new side, new you know, let it slip away and try and get back into the matchup. Oh, Exist! Charges behind there. If he would have taken down Bondic, at least it would have been a 4 versus 4, but instead, it is still the 5-on-4. And Issa comes back in to try and capitalize as well, now knowing the location of those Ts. They all go through Vent. They're going to go in the conga line, but it's the conga line of death, Ben, as they will be slaughtered by Deadfox.
Yeah, one thing that HellRaisers did do, though, they invested 5 FAMAS. So if they'd lived, they would have guaranteed, you know, the repurchases would have been only, what, 1,400 value, I believe it is, to get a HE, smoke, flash, and a Molotov, or incendiary grenade, rather. Instead, though, Deadfox does get taken down. A bit too confident there, I guess. He wants to get more kills for that little highlight reel. Only gets the 2, does fall, it means he has to get given a gun there. So Voxic drops him a FAMAS, gets himself an M4. And it's good grenade availability for all of those CT players. Fnatic, though, very, very aggressive default. But look at this, door push. It's a very awkward one to actually go for a door push like that. It wasn't even a full commit. Like, normally you need to be going really aggressive, not holding those tiny little angles. So here's that A main flash we mentioned. Comes in. Should be some good trades here for Angel. Just the one, though.
Ooh, yeah, JW. Bites back and eliminates Angel as he'll connect the frag with the AK.
Twist's got a good position on the map here. He's got into Z. Deadfox. He was looking towards it, but there's not much you can do from that position. And that does mean Bondic's all alone, 1v4. He feels like there is a player close, but little does he know. Oh, he's made noise. JW very low next to him, but you can see players coming to support him. Doesn't even get the kill on JW. So a pretty solid round from HellRaisers, but you got to be thinking, oh, Fnatic, sorry, but HellRaisers, they forced the issue a bit much, I think. In the old economic system, that probably would have been somewhat okay, because they would have had more rounds to build up their money. However, that time, you see the money effect here. You've now got players on NP9, you've got no grenades on something like one of your M4s. Woxic's only on a Deagle. It was a classic situation where they felt like they probably had more money than they did. And that's something we used to see in the 4th round for CTs. If they'd won the first 3, they'd do an aggressive push, try and catch the Ts off guard. It's one of those things, like a pattern you've developed over the years of playing CSGO at this level. You think, normally we would do this, But then when that economic exchange comes in, you lose that pattern. Like, you have to develop a new one. It's a small thing that people wouldn't realise when they actually think about how they normally play the game. Fnatic a lot slower this round, though. It seems A heavy, though. Nobody outside B at all. To Trust.
Ooh.
Trusted to go out there.
Yeah.
And Angel had nobody to really trade either. And that was one of the M4s.
Which is quite unfortunate for them. This does leave them in a bit of a predicament.
The vent boost coming in there. Hopefully going to try and get to that M4 Woxic.
He needs to grab it. Once they realise this is an A site push as well, he should just confidence ball, grab the M4, sprint his way up and support his teammates. We'll be able to retrieve the weapon.
Oh, they got a peak highway.
Oh, Bondic with a spam down.
Exist
kills JW. Another team kill for the side of Fnatic, Ben. This is
onto
not
JW
ideal.
as well. He's taking the brunt of it from his teammates here. And Issa dies to a Molotov. Okay, so that's very bizarre.
Luckily, Exist redeems himself.
Yeah, thankfully, because that round was winnable for HellRaisers after that team kill, but unfortunately, Crims, I believe that was a classic case of the Molotov spreading at the last few ticks, like it sometimes does do that. And so, Fnatic, they get another round on the board, but it was a bit of a weird one in terms of how clean it was, I guess. Mainly because of how hectic it was, with Bondic, I think, spamming all the way towards highway, towards that dorsal area. Exist tries to fight back and just kills GW. The scoreline's getting closer though. Imagine how different it would have been if that Dead Fox round didn't happen. Or rather, that one mistake had not happened, because it wasn't even the round, it was just that one decision.
Could have been a whole different game here. It's now actually quite close. 11-8. No cash there for HellRaisers, so the only two weapons they have is Bondic's M4 and Dead Fox's MP9. Not really the most scary weapons when you are a T-side team packed full of AKs. They sprint out towards mid, Angel gets first contact, but just has to scurry out of there with his tail between his legs.
Dead Fox is still towards B though with that MP9. Although you got to think he'd have to do something crazy to get involved in the round with that weapon. Could be an awkward one. Doesn't even win the firefight against Twist there, despite having the upper hand, I feel. That CT smoke has missed. Angel didn't really expect it to miss at all. He was got the free kill onto Twist, but ultimately Bondic needs to save. Issa, he's got a USP, I'm not really sure what he can do. Maybe he should have gone on the light, perhaps. That would have been quite an interesting one to try and get an exit kill. Because they would never be check. Like, if they go towards the A site, you're not going to go like too far away from it. You'll try and go for that quite close exit frag. Instead, though, Bondic's being like a little guard from back for Issa. I suppose there was that gun close to CT, at least, that Twist had. So maybe the plan is to get that if it does blow out from the bomb explosion. It's quite high hopes, though, I think. So Issa runs in. He's actually chasing out towards B, but he gets the MP9 and a kit, so I guess that's something at least, right?
It's a bit of a save, you know. I mean, the cash isn't still amazing, so it's going to be rough for them. The rebuy will come out, but there is going to be a restriction on nades.
Angel's going to take the MP9, I think, yeah. So he actually takes... I was going to say the hit, but I think he was more... I'm not going to let that go to waste. It's not really worth it. It's not that bad of a weapon, to be fair. If you can use it properly at long range, it's pretty lethal.
I mean, if you can get headshots off of it...
Yeah, if you can tap it, it's crazy. Woxic's been trusted to be alone on this B site, though. That little run boost peak came through, and JW... Did he actually tag him for 4 damage?
I think so.
With an AWP?
He must have hit him through, like, 2 walls.
It has to have been, right? I was just trying to think, how does that happen? Because he was on top of the barrels. That's weird. Unless he had his Glock out for some reason. I guess that with 4 damage would make sense for a Glock out.
Yeah.
That was very peculiar. Woxic perhaps being quite fortunate in this round thus far then, I guess. Because that probably shouldn't have resulted in that much damage. But Fnatic, they seem very eccentric currently. very reliant on the A side of the map. Angel does have a smoke still. That's an interesting lineup, actually. If that lands towards A main, it does. That's really nice. Very nice and easy smoke to actually throw as well. Don't need to face anything, quite a simple lineup. This feels so easily orchestrated though. If you're HellRaisers, look how many players they've got on this side of the map. This cannot go well for Fnatic.
3 versus 5. HellRaisers surely win this round, and Woxic's able to spam down, eliminates Crims. Brolin will trade it back with the AK, but it's just one headshot. Luckily, gets himself a second, but can't defend himself from Dead Fox. And that is now 12 rounds picked up. So HellRaisers starting to find their form again. Seems like the shakiness has left them.
Yeah, it was a weird round though. Fnatic, it just feels like you can tell very easily which side they're going to. Yeah. Right, whereas like, if we compare to HellRaisers' T side, there were so many rounds where they did some fakes, they were actually just going for a lot of split and picks and working with it. Fnatic, they just seem to have a group of at least 3 with the bomb go for picks.
Well, so that's the thing that's weird, right? Is because obviously, when you kind of think about it, Exist, coming into that team, should have a lot in his playbook.
Should do.
From like the rosters he's been on and from what he should be able to transfer over, right? You should have enough defaults there where you can pull out some really interesting stuff. And I mean, even if you think, you know, it was a while ago now, but when they did used to play Cash when he was on NOP, he actually had quite a lot of interesting strategy behind that.
Yeah, it's a weird one because all of these players, it doesn't even matter if you're the IGL. You're still playing in teams where you've done some different kinds of strategies.
Yeah.
Because he even stood in with FaZe, I believe, at one point as well, didn't he? Yeah, so that's another team which... Sure, you might not think they've got much of a playbook, right? They've got a lot of... But they would have, you
must have taken away something from that experience.
Yeah, there must have been some interesting calls, whether it's actual just split and pick calls where it's like, you know, some people do the 3 through palace burst, right? That's an on-the-fly call. You don't need to have a strat for that. You just have somebody say, can you smoke jungle, can you smoke stairs, burst palace with it. That's a simple call that can be made in a mix. Yet, he's not really brought much, apparently, over. Like, there's quite a lack of...
ingenuity, anything.
Yeah, I was just trying to think like anything new as well.
It's just very standard sort of Cash T-side play. You know, it's simple to read. And when you're playing that against someone like Angel as well, they're going to cotton on to that.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to know how to deal with that. He's dealt with it many times.
And here comes that A burst, kind of expected, but Issa, he expects to wait till time. He doesn't actually get the shot off though. Oh. There's only 10 seconds left. I was going to say, if the player gets killed towards highway, that changes everything, but the plant has to come through. Crims gets it down. 1-on-1 there.
Oh, the Molotov spread
that did a lot.
That's huge. He's so low. Woxic with a headshot overkill as well.
That's the same thing that happened the other way, though, if you remember. It was Crims that got the kill because of that spread last time. This time comes back to bite him, apparently.
It is horrific.
That's true karma, right there, I guess, isn't it?
What goes around comes around.
Yeah. In which case, what spreads around will spread further, apparently, I guess, because that's caught him in his backside and forced him into that situation, which is pretty horrible. Yeah. Left-hand peek into Woxic, and he expected the peek as well.
Really, really quite rough. 13-9 now as we go into round 23, and HellRaisers at this point, you know, it seems like it should be pretty smooth sailing as long as they carry on winning the rounds in the manner they have been, especially if they can try and break Fnatic here as well and really get a thorn in their side.
Yeah, so all the HellRaisers players, again, playing quite well. But the player actually near the bottom was Woxic, which...
Look at Woxic as well, look how aggressive he is.
There should be a trade there. But this actually gets 2 HP he lives on. And you see, there's instant call, the 2-kill rule coming in.
Yeah.
But Bondic is, you know, he's on the scene at least. He doesn't need to do much to get rid of the first player coming in, which will be Exist. If he actually just taps him, the grenade should deal with him. Oh, actually just passed him. Exist was straight in.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that changes things quite a bit, because that round, I like the idea of going for a push like that, but at some point, sure, you just use a flashbang on Sunroom or around the corner somewhere, just to make sure that you do get the info. I understand you might want to not let them know you've got all that information, but it's better to be safe than sorry, right? In some instances.
The thing is as well, wouldn't it have worked better if, you know, if they both would have actually played close to the wall? Because then you would have been seen. So Exist would have had to wide swing to peek it.
Yeah, either you go... I understand why they did it though, just in case Exist does go for that like full angle peek towards that side. Just in case, right? But the player on the further angle probably could have just gone on the box, maybe just hold that angle and then be like, okay, we need to clear the sun room. Can you flash me in? Maybe that's another way of doing it. But you can see HellRaisers, the money, not there. The rounds that they've won have been relatively close. So you can see they're going for some Deagles. They are recognised against the double eco though. So Deagle purchases, not spending all of the money they have. That's a good start though. Woxic, and there's damage being done. That was an interesting boost by them as well. Actually boosting in the centre of highway. You don't really expect to see an elevated person.
No, it caught them off guard a little bit as well. You can see they weren't really expecting it. Brolin nearly shot above Woxic's head there, but luckily was able to readjust his crosshair and leave him lifeless on the ground. There are only now 3 players remaining for HellRaisers, and this doesn't look like a good position to be in. It gets worse as time goes by as well. GW with the early entry eliminates Dead Fox. They can now plant and lock down the site quite happily. Bondic and Issa. Just a little bit of a salvage job left on this one. Possibly trying to find those exits. That's about it.
Yeah, it's not really worth the exits too much, I feel. Because, like I mentioned, it's a double eco. So they'll lose this round to get 1900. They'll lose the next one because they won't be needing to invest into it. So keeping the Deagle is not actually a bad decision. But the thing I was alluding to before the round was, so all the players in HellRaisers are playing quite well. The player at the bottom was Woxic, who last map had a really solid game, a lot of impact with the AWP.
Yeah.
But we mentioned earlier on, the AWP on Cash is not actually that great. If a player's doing really well with an AWP on Cash, they're probably being quite proactive, I guess is the best way to use it for it, because that means they have to, you can't just sit one place with the AWP, because otherwise they'll just go, okay, there's an AWP there, we can just avoid him if we need to, because it's quite, it's quite easy to just not bother with it.
You have
instead
to
just go to everywhere else.
Yeah.
But Woxic's not really been able to get that done, so he's not had a crazy game that he's probably used to, but it's not a bad game by any means, because he's a prominent rifler as well.
Yeah, it's just that awkward effect there, really, the map not allowing him to play the style that he loves to run. It's Fnatic now back into this round. A lot of aggression. Seems like it could just be a very early burst out towards the A site. There's 3 players in close proximity for HellRaisers to respond to this. Multiple Deagles in position as well. All these hand cannons guide them through the round.
Yeah, a lot of hopeful spams. No damage coming through there. Finally getting some hits in. Twist. He was quite delayed onto that site because of the damage. And Crims, I think he's just been hit by a Deagle long range, but it's not actually got the kill. 99 damage. Lucky to be alive in this situation.
Ooh. Big double kill coming through from existing JW there, so now it's just up to Angel. The Deagle could get a cheeky little kill there, but Brolin survives. The fact that all of them have survived that as well. Crim's on 1 HP, Brolin brought down very low. Everyone's just able to live through.
On Fnatic's side, 9,500 on 2 of the players.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, with the 5 alive, they're able to build a bank from this. Even if they lose this round, they've got another buy round available to them. That's
when it gets scary as well, because HellRaisers, you get into that position where it's worrying, because even though you're winning these rounds, Fnatic is still able to buy up pretty much until the end of the game. So it's a constant struggle here.
And the double off has actually come true from HellRaisers here. So the players in door might have actually heard that Molotov hit the player going towards it. He actually goes to the door peak.
Wow.
There's 3 of them in there. He only saw the 1 there. But if there's a site you don't really want to be going into, it's a site that has Issa and Woxic on it, I feel.
Yeah, they are the dynamic duo, and they like to destroy. Issa gets the first kill, eliminates Crims. Woxic just waiting in position with the AWP to try and pull the trigger. JW frustrated so much by the nade, he'll try and kill it, but Woxic slays them both. This has got to be a 14th round picked up, Ben. There is no way. Exist in a 1 versus 5. Yeah,
Bondock's holding this close angle just in case. Dead Fox will check Z, but he doesn't really need to go for a wide face here. He will get peeked and Bondock. That's 5 players alive, and as I said, it's not a site you want to go into if it's Woxic and Issa. Unfortunately, they go into it, they don't even get a kill from it. They deal with the push very easily, and Fnatic, like I said, they've got another buy round available to them. But it's not fantastic by any means, though. Still, it's, if they lose this one, HellRaisers will be on match point, and they'll probably build up even more money themselves as well. It's a huge round.
JW trying to get himself an early pick there, but nothing really going to come his way. However, on the flip side, Woxic beats down Brolin in a matter of seconds as he'll rip his way through him with that absolute railgun.
It's a lovely kill to find. We saw something similar in the first half, if you remember, when Twist went for the peak. But that time, Woxic had a rifle there supporting him and distracting that A main player just in case. So even if you try and commit to that spray, he will kill you if you try too much. Angel gets a flash peek in. There's more concept. That was the bomb. If he's able to survive longer, unfortunately he's not able to in that case. Deadfox is still here with an AWP though.
They are outnumbered here. It's a 4-on-3. Deadfox has the site control. He's just going to be sat there waiting for this to come through. He might be blind, but he's got out. He will stay alive here.
He's got back in.
He's run back straight in. The confidence was on display apparently, but it didn't really work out. Luckily, they've got big man Bondic beating him down as he pounds his chest, swings out for the first kill, leaves it in the 2 versus 3 now. Issa slowly approaching from the rear. The Angel of Death will arrive. Grants them his gift, Ben. 1 free frag to go his way. It's up to Crims, the clutch. Push comes through. Fights through the blindness like Daredevil gets 1. But can he find the second? No, not today. This will be the 15th round picked up for HellRaisers.
That was still pretty costly though, considering, what was it, 4v3. Deadfox probably runs in, makes it 3v3. And it was technically a 3v2, but they knew where both players were. Obviously, if they get that kill onto GW, they then know Crims has to be stuck on site. But instead, they kind of force it a bit too much. Nonetheless, though, it's a match point for them. And Fnatic, the bank has run dry. They've got no more buys available to them. This is the biggest round for them. Thankfully, they're able to get everything needed for them, though. Yeah,
and this is where you run into a little bit of an awkward position as well, because even if Fnatic do actually win this round, they might not be able to just use that as a knock-on effect. They're not really going to have momentum then. So they need to win these rounds, but need to win them very cleanly as well.
So HellRaisers, even though they've won the past few rounds, they've not got much money behind them. So even if, like Fnatic has said, if they win a round, the money is not being great on either side. But Woxic's already made a big play this round. He's got control of the door. Crims playing very defensive. He's already had impact on Crims' actual game this round. So Fnatic's going to send 3 people over boost. Bondic hasn't really needed to do much at mid all game, if I'm honest. He's actually been able to just hold towards highway, not do much. He's holding out the mid push at least. But look how confident he is there to take that fight.
Ooh. Okay, well JW is going to be able to overthrow his reign as he tried to play quite confidently towards mid, but it will be learning that confidence is not always the correct decision.
So HellRaisers made a big call here. They've left B completely.
He's gone for the gamble.
However, with Exist on the map, you kind of assume the bomb is going to go towards him, in most cases. Angel, they're planning to retake mid, and they're actually going to go with 3 people towards it as well. If Angel were to just molly under the vent, that probably would have sent JW straight to the graveyard. Unfortunately, he's going to get a kill towards mid as well.
Okay, Angel
this is the save call.
Yeah, they're just going to have to leave it. Oh.
JW nearly forced another one, but they're thinking of going for it now. That 1 kill has actually changed their minds.
I mean, the bomb isn't down just yet. So they do have a full bomb timer to play with here, so maybe it could work. They do need to find another frag, though, soon. Absolutely ASAP. They will force Brolin off of the bomb line. Some more of an awkward angle, but it's still not worth it. They're not getting picks. That was the necessary point. If Woxic could have found an extra frag towards the site, then maybe, yeah, they could have gone for it. But no, they have to concede that one. Luckily, they've actually saved on 3 players as well, so they can get that buyout next time around. If they didn't, it would have been very, very awful for them. So it's going to go 13 rounds now for Fnatic, but they need to keep this win streak going. They cannot afford to lose any of these rounds, or they will lose this matchup here. And that'll be the full 6 points picked up by HellRaisers as well, if that were to happen.
So the awkward bit is here for HellRaisers. Do you force around the 3 guns? So you can see the technical pause, actually not tactical, but it can work the same way though. Even if there's a technical pause, whoever has the technical pause, they can fix their issue. But Angel's got to be thinking, how do we do this buy then? Because you've got 2 players in 3600. One of them is Woxic, he saved that AWP, he can drop an M4 across. You've then got quite low cash, I believe, on the other 3 players. I think it was 2100 at like the most. So from that, you got to think, you can get a UMP, maybe an MP5, 7, depending on what you're using.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a fantastic buy, but surely it's worth just going for it, because that'll be the best buy you can get. You can't save those guns another round. Obviously, they would prefer to have that and then keep more cash. But simply put, this is probably the round they need to go for it. But at least they've got the overtime secured if they do need, have to go to it. But they don't want to do that. They need to buy this round, I feel.
You would imagine so. It seems that freeze time has been cancelled now, and Woxic has once again remedied his issue.
So M4, I mentioned. Woxic, the player with the AWP, he did spend the M4, so he drops it across. A Farmas was dropped to Issa.
Yeah. So
it's full rifles available, so that's not actually a bad... They've done quite well to manoeuvre the weapons around
there. Make the most of that, yeah. And that's the importance of the free-player save, really.
As long as you have one player who can get a good rifle in, you can basically guarantee it. Look how aggressive this is from Woxic. He's waiting for a flash, but they're not even flashing it. He gets both!
Oh, Ben, the collateral! The timing from Woxic. Surely that's got to be the game set and match there. What a way to open it up.
You could see that going so wrong in so many ways, though. He had his back turned. It
was so risky, yeah. Literally,
but he was like, okay, I'm going to go for it. They're not flashing it. I'm going. And he gets both. He lands it on the exact angle to get collat for 200 damage, which is the stomach. Yeah. It's the same place you hit with a scout to get the one shot. And it's done very well. 3v5. Crims, Burl, and JW. They need to do it all. Unfortunately, though, both sites have been fully stacked. It's a 3 and a 2 setup. They're leaving mid.
Smoke going to go down here towards short as they get ready to try and go for the bold move, the attack towards the A site. There's 3 players there from that CT side. Now just waiting quite comfortably in position as the smokes will guide them. JW as well, taken down through the smoker's bond. It will detect him through the radar. Flashbang goes out. This has to be the end of the game. And it keeps on getting worse and worse as well. Brawler now left in a 1 versus 5. It's only a matter of time until he is done for, but does get the flick around. Eliminates Issa. Drops out Smoke and Molly as well to reopen this A site. But there we go. His neck will be snapped, lips peel back, Woxic with a frag, HellRaisers with 6 points, and they can thank Woxic for that one with the opener.
Yeah, we were mentioning not being able to do much with the AWP. That is enough, frankly. That's a huge round. Yeah. And considering he saved it from the previous one, he wasn't able to get anything done on that retake. That's a perfect way to utilize the AWP, right? He took the huge risk. He even had his back turned for about 5 seconds. He was like, they're probably going to flash this, I'll block it, I'll dodge it. And he was like, no flash coming? Oh, okay, I'm facing. Gets both of them. And that threw the round away for Fnatic. They were like, oh, okay, what do we do?
They just completely went out the window at that point. And you could see the desperation as well. I mean, you've already lost 2 players that early into the game. You haven't done anything either. It's not as if one of them got the trade or they've at least done damage. Woxic was just happy.
Yeah, it's not even like he got info either. He's pushed it on his own. There wasn't even a rifler there.
Yeah.
If they kill Woxic, that round completely changes, right? If there's a trade even. But instead, HellRaisers, 16 to 13. It was a bit shoddy towards the end of that first half, but CT, they recovered towards the end as well.
Yeah, overall, very good displaying from HellRaisers there, proving that they have got a lot of hot stuff to show off. The results very different from the scorelines we had seen previously at the major, but still proving that HellRaisers are looking to be the better team currently when it comes down to these two facing off against each other. Ben, any final thoughts in this series?
Yeah, a very good team display from HellRaisers. I think all players popping off when needed. It's nice to see everybody contributing as well.
Yeah, good to see everyone coming up and showing what they can do. That is the end of our first series, but there is still more to come. Stay tuned as we'll have some more CS action coming up next.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.